Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to CryptoCarlo.ai. Today's presentation is not intended to predict the future. Instead, it is designed to illustrate the potential power of consistency, compounding, and long-term thinking. But it does answer an interesting question. What could happen if someone simply got started and stayed consistent for 10 years? Before we begin, it is important to understand that the figures shown in this presentation are hypothetical illustrations for educational purposes only. Actual results will vary. Forex trading involves risk, including the possible loss of capital. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Please perform your own due diligence and consult qualified professionals before making financial decisions. If you're one of those who believes you need thousands of dollars before you can get started, what if that wasn't true? What if someone started with only $400 and simply stayed disciplined for the next 10 years? That is the question we are exploring today. To keep things simple, we will make 4 assumptions. First, we start with $400. $300 covers the annual subscription for the first year. The remaining $100 becomes the initial trading capital. Second, we contribute $100 every month for 10 years. Third, the annual subscription is renewed each year. And finally, there are no withdrawals during the accumulation phase. The objective is simple: allow consistency and weekly compounding to do the heavy lifting. This is often the part that surprises people the most. Members are not required to know how to trade or to learn how to trade. The Forex Aggressive Plus strategy is managed by professional traders. The members' role is simple. Once each week, usually on Saturday, log into the dashboard and compound the week's rewards. For most members, the entire process takes approximately 1 minute per week. And unlike many long-term investments, funds are not locked. Withdrawals may be requested at any time. Because nobody knows exactly what future performance will look like, we will examine 4 different possibilities. An ultra-conservative scenario averaging 2.5% per month, a conservative scenario averaging 3%, a moderate scenario averaging 3.5%, and an aggressive scenario averaging 4%. Even under the most conservative assumptions, the numbers begin to tell an interesting story. Over 10 years, the total amount contributed to trading capital is $12,100. An additional $3,000 covers the annual subscriptions. That means the total out-of-pocket amount over the entire decade is $15,100. That's approximately $126 per month, averaged over 10 years. Sometimes financial success isn't about making massive contributions. Sometimes it's simply about remaining consistent. Now let's make the example more interesting. At the end of 10 years, all contributions stop. No additional deposits, no additional subscriptions, no more money enters the account. The account must now stand on its own. This is where compounding begins to become truly powerful. Let's assume the account continues averaging 3.5% growth per month. Now imagine withdrawing 3% per month as retirement income. Because the account is still averaging more than the withdrawal amount, the account continues growing even while producing income. The initial monthly income in this example begins at approximately $5,400 per month. And remarkably, the account balance continues increasing while that income is being received. Now let's look at the 4% scenario. Again, only 3% is withdrawn each month. Because the account continues averaging 4% growth, while only 3% is withdrawn, the account continues growing by approximately 1% per month. The initial monthly income begins at approximately $8,500 per month, and the account balance continues growing despite the ongoing withdrawals. The illustration you just saw assumed something important. The starting amount never increased beyond $400. The monthly contribution never increased beyond $100. But life rarely stays the same. Promotions happen, debts get paid off, expenses decrease, income increases, and sometimes we simply choose to prioritize our future a little more than we did before. So what happens if someone starts with more than $400? What happens if monthly contributions increase to $200 or $300, or even simply increase enough each year to keep pace with inflation? The possibilities become surprisingly large. At the end of the day, this presentation wasn't really about Forex, and it wasn't really about percentages. It was about discipline, consistency, and giving compounding enough time to work. Because financial freedom is rarely built overnight, it is usually built slowly, patiently, and deliberately. And remember, you can't finish if you never start. Thank you for watching. This presentation was created to illustrate what consistency, weekly compounding, and time may be capable of accomplishing. It isn't about getting rich quickly. It's about building a life on your own terms. Stay disciplined, stay consistent, and your future self may thank you for the decisions you make today. Be blessed, be free, and I'll see you in the next video.